Stars in the sky, cards in my hand, searching for signs, lost in the sand. Whispers of fate, echoes of dreams in the dark slate. Nothing's as it seems.
Good morning and welcome to the MyTarot morning reflection, our daily inventory and chance to check in with the universe. And this morning I grabbed my favorite deck, which I have not used in a while. And boy, does it feel good in my hands. Just the classic Marseille. But, sometimes people wonder when you do a reading and it doesn't seem to make sense. And so anybody who's interested in getting into the tarot, reading the tarot, sometimes, and this is kind of like this cool little thing, is that if it's not making sense a lot of times, if you just step away and then come back, but look up the cards, go to the internet, say, what does this card mean? Go to the book again and start writing down about the card and what it means to us. And all of a sudden, just watching the light bulb go off is really interesting, because sometimes it's difficult to internalize because we're so focused on something. And this is one of those teaching things where talking to somebody, they'll say it's like, well, I'm just not getting it. A lot of times it's just like life. Something comes up, you don't internalize it. Stepping away and then doing the research and absorbing the information, understanding the information, then all of a sudden the back of the brain just kind of clicks in. So why am I rambling about that? Just because I think it's really interesting. And I'm trying to think of how to say that the surface, a lot of times things don't make sense in life and tarot. But once we thoroughly absorb instinctually what something means, like music. When I first pick up a piece of music, I'm reading the music and I'm not really into it. But once I absorb it, it just takes on a whole new dimension. So whether that makes sense or not, I don't know. I'm just here to do tarot and ramble. And remind people to take a breath, listen to the cards, listen to the sounds of the ocean. Apparently my goal is also for somebody to hear that sometimes we just need to absorb the information. Like you're learning to play a song on a guitar, and then put our feet flat on the floor and our butt doing the kitty dance. And where's our shoulders at? Get our shoulders to that relaxed position. Check in with our neck. So, and good morning, Maureen, and good morning, everybody. Okay, so the purpose today, though, is to check in with the universe to see how we are. Have we thought about that today? Just how am I? And as I like to say, it's where the universe holds up a mirror and asks you, what do you see? And then we can use this tarot as our reflection. Or you could have a different method to absorb your information and examine what we see. So, today, with that extra breath, I'm going to make our 3 stacks. Each one a different thread going out to the universe. It's like each one's a different thought or idea. And if we believe in the multiverse, it's like each one of these is like a different path, because this stack will lead down one path, this stack will lead down another, and this one's like a totally different conversation. You go in a totally different direction. And today, let's take the bottom stack, which is what I like to think of as things that are underneath that might be influencing us and we don't even see it. With that, I am going to do our 3 and 1. I think I was also thinking about what I was just talking about, because there are times where I will do a spread for myself and I will discount it because it doesn't make sense. And I've done that in the past. It's like, it's not a whole lot of deep meaning here. I'll just kind of brush it off. But I found that if I really focus on it and do a meditation, all of a sudden this deeper wellspring seems to come up. So sometimes it's just it's about looking beyond the surface at the things that are underneath that might be influencing us and we don't even see it. So turning the cards over one at a time like they're the pages of a book. Again with the Six of Coins. So yesterday we had the Six of Coins in the center. Sixes are about harmony and improvement. Again, we go with the numerology 1 to 10. And that fives are that challenge. 5 is that hill we need to get over. And 6 is getting over that hill. And so coins, home, health, finances, and all those things that keep us grounded. So this is that positive aspect of getting to where we need to go. And then having gratitude for it. What kind of gratitude can we have? Again, sometimes it's the gratitude that, we've made something and maybe sharing that with other people. But let's see what the other cards are. Oh, then we have the Devil. So, the Devil, in short, is the harms that we do to ourselves or others. It's those things that pull us away from our path. It's those things that bind us to the negative sides and our negative aspects. Good morning, Joey. See how we have the Devil with his little pedestal here? It's these things that we tie ourselves to, whether it's getting stuck on Facebook for hours or those things that just we know are not healthy. And if we just realize it, see how loose those ropes are? What if we just turn this around? Those ropes would just fall off. So these are those things. If you read in books, they'll say things like addictions and things like that. But we need to look at also just the aspects that we know are not positive in our lives, not healthy in our lives, and that distract us, whether it's from our jobs or things that are going on at home. It's things that pull us from the path. 2, the King of Swords. So, kings, that is, court cards can be somebody else, could be one of us, could be me, because they're characters, they're personalities. So the king is somebody who takes charge, gets things done. The king can't afford to be tied to the devil, tied to those aspects. The king would love to sit back and watch the TV show Community all day long instead of dealing with bills. But the king knows that it's all right. It's time to put on our adult pants and get these things done first. And swords are the element of air. Swords are our thoughts and our ideas and sometimes our anxieties. Because why do we turn to the devil and things like that? Because I don't want to deal with it right now. But the sword in the hands of the king. Good morning, Jenna. The sword in the hand of the king. That is clear thinking, clear-sightedness. That is about getting things done. So, without even the advice card, it's like we get on our path, we get started, and then all of a sudden, squirrel, and we're off in a different direction. Where the king is about looking forward, about forward thinking and moving forward, recognizing when we get distracted. But let's take a look at the advice card and see what might be distracting us or what we need to do. So the advice card, we have the Queen of Coins. Coins are our home, health, finances, and all those things like that. Queens are our emotions, our feelings. Queens are our spirituality. So the Queen of Coins, she is the one who will sit, who we can actually talk to and recognize and ask. It's like, because she takes care of the home. She is the emotions that we feel. Why are we allowing ourselves to be so distracted? So in our day-to-day lives, yay, we get to pay our bills and things like that. But the Queen of Coins is somebody, when we do get stressed out, when we get pulled from the path that says, you know, I've done enough enough adulting for the day, but we're not done. What's going to help us get back onto that path? So right here we have a split. And this is where we need to take a look at that emotional side, that side of what we're really feeling. The way I like to describe the Queen of Coins is that some of us may or may not have seen the Harry Potter movies. But if you have, there is Ron Weasley's mom, Miss Weasley. And she's like the ultimate Earth Mother. Without even knowing you, she's going to bring you in, give you a bowl of soup. She is the home. She's everything like that. You know, and she'll take care of you, and she'll even give you the advice and tell you, it's like, this is what you need to do. I mean, she's the one that shows you can't have a king without, you know, the strong counter side, you know, of the feminine side, the creator, the caretaker. But the thing about Miss Weasley is that, as kind and wonderful as she is, you don't F with her. You don't F with her kids, her family, their friends, because she does not put up with anything. She gets us back on path. And it's what the King of Swords needs. So today, think about the path that we're on, the things that we want to accomplish. We want to maybe buy a new home, or maybe we have health issues we're not taking care of. What would Ron Weasley's mom tell us? And she will show her volcano exactly. So what would Ron Weasley's mom tell us to get back on the path so that we can become that King of Swords, put aside our emotions and feelings, and just do what we have to do? So with that, just think about, it's the empathy side of the things that we are doing and distracting ourselves with that are not healthy with our home, health, and finance. And it's about getting back on the path again. So with that, thanks again, take care, and I will see you all tomorrow.
Stars in the sky, cards in my hand, searching for signs, lost in the sand. Whispers of fate, echoes of dreams in